I have some surprising sales data to report with regards to real estate sales in 2026. This is Ron Wojciechowski for the Black Hole of Real Estate, and the NAR is telling us that home sales in 2026 are an increase of 2.2% over 2025 for the same time period. And as we go a little bit further into it, they're talking about all this happening despite different economic conditions than last year. We were in a transition of president last year, right? The Fed had stopped dropping rates, so there were some reasons for sales to be where they were. Now, also noticing that this year the sales are up despite government shutdowns, wars in Iran, and interest rates climbing. They were at 6% in February, and then they increased to about 6.5% 30, 60 days later because of these economic and national issues. Now, my suspicion is that things might just be ready to improve. Now, they did tell us if you compare March of 26 to March of 2025, the home sales for that just 1 month is lower this year, 3.6% lower than last year. So where's the change going to occur? Well, my suspicion is all the things we mentioned that are, holding back the real estate sales right now. I think they're temporary, and they'll probably go away. I think the government will eventually get reopened. I think that whatever's going on around, it's going to be solved. But most importantly, there's one more Fed meeting, April 28th and 29th. And then Jerome Powell, he'll be moving on and a new guy's going to come in. I think there's a lot of optimism that the next person will drop rates despite concerns of inflation because of the expenditures of war and government shutdown. Whew. All right, so that's a lot of techie stuff. That's a lot of numbers and things. What does this mean to you? Well, it means that I believe that there is a number of homes ready to hit the market. National Association of Realtors is telling us we are anywhere from 300,000 to 500,000 homes for sale below where we need to be. And where would those come from? Well, tax season's over. The school year is about to end, and it's historically a time where a lot of people would like to move, and they do. Interest rates, if you compare this year to last year, we're at 6.4% this week. It could get right back down to 6% pretty quick based on what would happen at either this Fed meeting or the next one. And let's face it, people moved when rates were 7 and 8%, so I don't think the difference between 6 and maybe 6.25 is going to stop anybody from moving. So at a time when most people consider moving, if they're going to move the whole year, this is the sweet spot of timing where there's increased activity. NAR is projecting that home sales and prices will increase about 4% this year. The earlier projections were 5%. What it's telling us is that prices will probably continue to go up, and not just because they know it all, it's because we see it happening. There is still a shortage of homes available, and there's nothing out there that's causing home values to go down. Now, local real estate is always different than national real estate, and there could be pockets where prices are dropping. There's also places where prices are increasing. We're going to keep an eye on this for you. The news I want to deliver today is despite all the crazy going on, sales are up 2.2% this year. And my suspicion is that number will increase as we get through the summer months of the year. If you got questions, drop them below. Definitely subscribe. This is Ron Wojciechowski for the Black Hole of Real Estate.